So I've got something great for you guys lined up. I'm going to be sharing my screen a little bit. We're going to go through some demonstrations. And by the end of this thing, you should really be able to create a free lead magnet or a freebie or something to get leads, right? And it's going to be really simple for you. So that's the big key here. Okay, so basically, this is just how to create a free offer. Now, one thing I want you to just witness that's happening as we're doing this is I want you to literally just see what's being done to you right now. Okay. So this in a certain way could actually be a free offer. Okay. Now, I also want you to notice something else that we've got going here, which is I've just got a Google Doc pulled up. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you all of this that we're going to go over right now. So you don't have to worry about, you know, taking notes and all that stuff. You're more than welcome to, but I'd rather you just, watch. Okay. So this whole thing is basically just um, it's all about speed. Okay. It's all about being able to attract the perfect person. It's about being able to get people that are really serious, that are wanting what you have, and it's just separating the pack. So imagine you're in an auditorium, okay? And there's, let's say, thousands of people in there. But let's say that you sell cherry pie recipes, okay? So instead of trying to talk to everyone in that auditorium, the best thing that you could do is try to separate out who really likes cherry pie so that when you speak and who you speak to, it's the right person, it's the right audience, and it is going to land right in their lap and they're going to love it. It'll just make things so much better for you. So, how would we do that? Well, in a certain way, you'd be able to just hopefully yell into the room, hey, anybody that loves cherry pie, raise your hand. And whoever raised their hand, you could say, "Hey, step over to the side, and I want to chat with you guys, okay? Because I've got a really incredible cherry pie recipe." This is exactly what your lead magnet does. When you're creating content and when you're doing things out there on the internet, you want to make sure that you're speaking to the right people. You want to make sure that you're just talking to your audience. And so, using a freebie like this, it allows us to do that. It allows us to get leads. It allows us to make more impact. It makes our message matter. And frankly, it's just better to talk to people that want to hear from you. Okay. So just like we would separate the room, that's what this does. Okay. So a lead magnet now, building a freebie, it's all about speed, especially when they barely know you. Okay. Because they want something that's going to happen fast. Everybody wants it this way. It's also about leverage. So what do I mean by that? Well, by leverage, it means you can talk to them the way they need to be talked to, and things can be happening in the background automatically because once somebody tries to get the lead magnet, you have automated systems that are following up with them. And when the automated system's doing that, you get to go do other things, right? So it gives you leverage. It also builds an audience with zero friction. So, what do I mean by that? Well, when you do this correctly, as I know Michelle's going to show you, give you all the things, it's about just getting them in quickly and then letting it sort itself out. So when they come to the page, they can just put in their email and boom, they're going to be at the page. They can do the thing. Okay. They can get the thing. Very easy to get in. It's not going to a bunch of hoops and jumps and buttons and clicks and answers and questions. They can just get the thing quickly and become a lead. And then it helps you get high value sales on autopilot. Again, this thing is running automatically in the background. So it's not like you have to stand there and hand out the lead magnet, right? So they can come, they can grab it, they can do all of this while you're sleeping, while you're traveling, whatever it is that you're doing. So that's the whole path to this. Okay. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, number one, we're going to talk about what a lead magnet actually is. I'm going to show you the three types that work the best. I'm going to show you how to build one in 10 minutes with AI. Actually, honestly, you can build it much quicker than that. But when you actually go to do it yourself, it'll probably be about that much time. And then I'm going to show you how to package it for social media and your email list. Okay, it will be very simple to do. And then I'm going to give you your next steps today so that you can actually create one of these freebies right away and start using it to get leads and get sales immediately. Okay, so what a lead magnet really is. So all it is just a simple tool that solves one tiny problem. Okay. It's not a big course. It's not a book. It's not a, huge long ebook. It's just one small win. So basically what it is it's kind of like, well, let me give you the best example that I could give you. Landon and I, Michelle and I's son, we were actually in the mall the other day, and he was going to get something from the mall. And while we had to wait a little bit. We had to like sign up, put this stuff in, and then we had to wait like 30 minutes. We went down to the food court, and when we walked down to the food court, there wasn't much open because it was early in the morning. But the first place we seen was this little Chinese food restaurant. And we barely got close to it, and they were sticking toothpicks in the meat, and they were, like, handing it over the glass, and they're like, "Here, take a little piece." And we literally, no kidding, we just took a bite of it. I was like, "You want some of this?" He's like, "Yeah, it's good." And we got a plate full. So, just the same way, your lead magnet's kinda like that meat on the end of the stick. Your person's out there and they see you on social media. They're watching your content and they go, "You know what? This is kind of interesting." And then all of a sudden you say, "Hey, I've got something for you to test out, to try, to get a bite of." And when they do that, it's kind of like with us, it was like it was good, so we got the full plate and we ended up spending money with them. They gave us a free piece of meat. We liked it and we went and bought the whole thing. And the same thing with your lead magnet. Now, if they would have came to us and made us sit down and, get a whole plate and do all this stuff and everything, we would have just buzzed on by. But it had to be quick, it had to be simple, and it still had to deliver that value. So what we're trying to think of is we want to think laser, not flashlight, meaning we want to be very small, very direct, give them something that's easy, valuable. We want to solve one little problem fast, and then we want to get them one real quick result today, just like the food court example. So whatever it is that you're offering, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give you examples of all types of lead magnets for all types of industries, okay? But whatever it is that you're offering, you can think about what is one of the biggest things inside of my, the solution that I provide, the thing that I'm offering. What's one of the biggest things that people always want to know? What's one of the things that everybody craves to figure out? Okay. One of them for us could be like how to create a funnel. So I could create a quick little one page thing about how to create a landing page or something, right? And if I do that well enough, they're going to want the full training. So they buy the program, they get involved, etc. So a lead magnet is just simply something that is, you know, solving a quick problem within the problem that you solve, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to open up for questions here later. So, if you have any, just write them down and we'll be sure to get to them. So, why this thing matters? Well, it does three things primarily. Number one, it builds trust really quick. Like nothing was more trust building with us getting a plate of food at the food court than them giving us a piece of free, piece of the food for free and eating it. And it was like, all right, it was food, it was good. I trust it, right? Um, it also shows your value or your expertise, or it shows that you're willing to give them a little bit, right? And it moves strangers from strangers to somebody that's in your community. And that might be your email list, an actual community, just being a part of what you're doing. These are all things that happen. So the key point is it's kind of think of the lead magnet as kind of like the front door to your business. Okay. Think of it as like um, that thing that represents what you're about, kind of like a test drive at a dealership per se. You need to keep it valuable, right? It needs to be really, really good, right? It needs to really lay the punch. It really needs to deliver the value because think about it. With that food court example, if we would have tried the food and it was gross, we wouldn't have got any more of it and probably would have never even went back to that place. So it's got to be valuable. It's got to be simple. If they would have handed us a corn on the cob and we had to tear it all off and then bite into do all this stuff, that wouldn't have worked as well as just here's a little piece, right? Quick, fast, easy, and it delivers a lot of value. Okay. So the three types of lead magnets that I've noticed work, that Michelle's noticed worked, and a lot of the people that are doing really well inside of our programs, the three that seem to work the absolute best are these. Number one is the checklist. Okay. Number two is the template. And number three is the mini course. So let me break this down for you. So a checklist, one of the most popular types of headline styles for a checklist is how to blank without blank the exact checklist I use. So an example might be how to grow your online business without posting daily the exact checklist that I use. Or how to launch your Skool community without tech overwhelm, the exact checklist that I use. So, why this works? It promises simplicity, it removes fear, and it gives them a path. And for you to create one of these, which I'm going to show you exactly how to create all of these in detail, and I'm going to give you prompts, I'm going to give you everything. These things are great because the checklist, think about it, they can get in. It's like I can go boom, 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 boom. If it's valuable and useful, it's like value right there. And they're like, hey, you know what? If this is what they're giving me for free, obviously their paid stuff is going to be even better. So it gives that exact feeling. And everybody loves a checklist, right? Everybody loves that. Another one is the template. Okay. So a really popular style for the template is steal my blank template that gets blank every time. Okay. Steal my Skool welcome post template that gets members hooked every time. People want that. They're like, oh, they've already figured out a framework. They've already figured out some way of doing something, and they're just going to give it to me, right? That's kind of how it is. Steal my 30-second content template that gets views every time. So notice it's something that they would actually want, right? It's a problem that would solve. So, for instance, like this last one, okay, it says steal my 30-second content template. Number one, at 30-second, it indicates that it's fast. Template, it's been done for me already and I can just use it, and then gets views every time. That's probably the problem they're having. They're not getting views. And if we think about this as being a little problem inside of the big problem that you solve, think about it like this. Let's say that you teach somebody how to start and grow an online business. Well, one of the things inside of that business is we've got to do content. We've got to create attention getting content that gets viewed by people. But that's just one of the steps in the big picture. So we want to be helping them solve one of those harder problems within the problem. That's really valuable to them. And then we can sell them the rest of the solution. So, hey, I just showed you how to get views in 30 seconds with my template, but that's just part of the problem. If you want to solve the whole problem, I have a program XYZ. That's how you get them to upgrade or become a customer. Okay. It it's really, think about that food court example again. How much more customers do they get because they offer a freebie like that? If I would have just walked by, or Landon and I would have walked by and they would have just been like, come over here and eat, we'd be like, hey, eat, back up a little bit. But because they were like, here, you want some free food? Try it. And you eat it, you're like, oh, it's pretty good. They instantly, because there was other, things in the food court, by the way, but they weren't offering anything for free. But where did we go? To the place that did. So just think about when you're creating this, kind of think about that food court example. It's one of the best examples I can think of for this. But this template, the reason why this works is because it's like it's like, here, take this from me. You can steal it, use it. It's kind of like catnip, right? It's like gets the cat over here. It's like it gets to play with the toy. And then people want a plug and play. So once you get their attention with something, then just give them the answer right away. Okay. That's all a lead magnet's doing. That's all this template is doing. These two are the easiest and most fun. This third one here, it's really, really effective, but it does take a little bit more input. Okay. So the mini course, the most popular way to think about the mini course, or the way people headline it anyway, is free mini course, learn blank in blank minutes, even if you're a total beginner. Okay. Free mini course, learn AI content creation in 30 minutes. Again, fast. Okay. They get the answer quickly. Free mini course, build your first recurring income machine in 45 minutes. Okay. They're like, hey, this is cool. I'll grab this real quick, check it out. And if it's really good, then they'll come buy the whole thing, or they'll at least be way more in consideration to do that. Now, here's why I like the mini course. Okay. One reason I really like it is it compresses a lot of time. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, by compressing time, I mean the time that I have to spend with them, or the time it takes for them to make a buying decision. For instance, people, they're going to need to spend a little bit of time with you in some way, shape, or form before they're going to purchase. It's it's one of them things where it's like, somebody doesn't become your best friend and you tell them all your secrets on day one, right? Um, when you do a mini course, they get to spend, a little bit of time with you, because if you're building it the way we show you, you're going to make some videos, right? You'll make some unlisted YouTube videos or something like that, and you're going to spend time with them. They're going to get to know you. They're going to get to like you. They're going to see if what you're sharing with them actually works, so that they can trust you. So it compresses that time down. With a template or with a cheat sheet or a checklist or something like that, they're not getting to necessarily experience you like they will in a mini course. And so that's why I do like the mini courses. It's my favorite way to do it. Um, and I said it's a little bit tougher because obviously you got to create some videos and things like that. But if you do it in a very simple, raw, authentic way, it's really not that big a deal. It removes a lot of intimidation as well. When they actually get to hang out with you and experience you, and they see that you're not, just fly by night, they're like, wow, this person, they actually created something nice and it's very helpful. It removes this barrier with them too. And it signals fast results, because if they're getting to experience you in that way, where it's like, wow, this person's like literally talking to me, kind of like I'm talking to you right now. Think of this as like a little mini course lead magnet, right? This right here, it signals right away to you, if this person is legitimate or not. You can tell real quick when you're hanging out with somebody if they're the right person, if this is somebody you want to hang out with. So I really love it for that reason. Now, all three of these in reality are very fast to create. Okay, I will tell you that. Just kind of give you a little behind the scenes here. Michelle and I were driving back from Kansas to Dallas last night, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I wanted you." She said, "I wanted you to help me out. I forgot to tell you that we're doing this training on freebies." And I was like, "Okay, no problem. I've trained on it, thousands of times. And I really love the subject." And so she says that to me, and I was like, "You know what? I'll just run over and I'm going to create a slide deck real quick to do the presentation to make it easier for them." That's how fast you can make one of these things. I literally created this, a couple hours here before this workshop. And so, obviously I knew what I wanted to say and I had some experience there, but I'm going to show you just how you can do the same thing quickly. So there's no like, oh, I didn't have time, or oh, it was too hard. No, you can do this very, very quickly. Okay. Now, just by waving at me here, has this been valuable so far? Just wave. Don't BS me or tell me something I don't. You okay? Now, has this been easy to follow? Just wave if it has. Okay. Now, here's something I want to share with you. I just did this on a Google Doc. There's nothing fancy happening here. I don't even have my fancy microphone plugged in. I'm just running it through my laptop, and I just have a simple camera pointing at my face. I want you to realize that that's all it takes, right? That's all that's necessary here. There's no pictures, there's no nothing, okay? So there will be me showing you some things, but there's no reason you can't do it the same way that I'm doing it, okay? So I just want to share that with you. These are easy to consume, these are easy to implement, and AI is going to handle most of your work here, and you're going to love that once I show that to you. Okay. Okay. Let me close this up here. Hopefully, you guys are digging this. Again, I'm going to give you guys this PDF. Okay. So here's the golden rule when it comes to creating these freebies or these lead magnets. Okay. You want to just solve one problem. A big mistake people make is they go in and they try to do too much, right? You think, well, to make it valuable, I got to do a bunch of stuff. No, like right here, right now, what we're talking about, all we're talking about is how to create a freebie. That's it. We're not going to talk about anything else. Okay. So, one problem. What's the problem we're solving here today? How to create a freebie. Okay. One promise. What was the promise here? That you're going to know how to create a freebie very quickly by the end of this. Very simple. And one page. That's all we're dealing with here is one page. Okay. It's just one little Google Doc here, and we're going over it just this simple. All right. So that's the golden rule. If you find yourself, you got a bunch of stuff, you're probably doing too much. You don't need to. and they probably won't consume it because it's too big. I see a lot of people use like big ebooks and all this stuff. It Why? It's gonna take too long. Most people never read them anyway, okay? And you completely lost them there. It's like, that's not the point of it, all right? So don't overthink this. It's very simple, okay? And the more simple it is, the better it's going to convert, all right? Okay. So this first one here, I'm gonna give you some examples, and we're gonna bounce in and out of some, Chat GPT stuff here, and I'm just gonna show you everything. So let's do it, okay? So the checklist. So I'll just give you some simple ideas. I'm gonna actually show you down here how to create a really good name for your lead magnet, okay? But I just put some examples in here to kind of show you. Like 10 mistakes killing your message in your videos. How many of you, by waving your hands, would wish to be able to create a better message on social media? Okay. So we know this is kind of a problem, right? What if I could show you 10 mistakes that are killing your message in videos, right? Just a checklist, and you could go through it real quick and you'd be like, oh, yeah, huh, I'm doing that. I need to stop doing that. That'd be valuable to you, right? It would help you. That's how you want to think about this. Or 7 steps to launch your first online business community. Okay. So if I showed you seven, how many would like to have 7 steps on exactly what to do very quickly? Right. So that's, again, people, if they're interested in starting an online business, it's likely they're going to download that. What does it tell you when you create something like 7 steps to launch your first online business community? Let's say you're doing that. That's your offer. You teach people how to do that. If you got a, I mean, do you just randomly go around getting on the internet and just putting your email in things and just whatever? Oh, I'm bored. I'm going to go opt into a bunch of lists. No, you don't. But when somebody, when you do that, or when somebody does that, think about it. What are they telling you? What are they interested in? You know right away, based off that lead magnet that you created, that only they're going to come to it. Kind of like the cherry pie example. It's like, the only people that are gonna step to the side of the room are people that actually like cherry pie. If they don't, they're not coming. So you can know that because of the type of lead magnet you did, the title, okay, or the type, you know who you're dealing with. And I've always loved it for that. It's kind of like a filter, okay? So I've got a prompt here for you that will create a checklist lead magnet for you. So again, super fast to create. Thankful for AI and its ability to do this. But it basically says, I want you to help me create a simple checklist style lead magnet. Ask me 5 questions one at a time. So I've got an example already filled out with those questions in it. So you can see what it looks like. But basically, when you put this prompt into ChatGPT, before it gives you the answer, before it provides you with the checklist that you can use as the freebie, it's going to ask you these questions. Who's the checklist for? What specific problem does it solve? And if you already know those answers, you can just simply copy and paste this template right here. Okay. It goes right down to here. You would just copy and paste this, and then you would go in and just provide the answer ahead of time. Okay. So basically, what it says is, who's the checklist for? What specific problem does it solve? What's the outcome that the person would want? What skill level are they? Are they beginners, intermediate? Are they advanced? And then, do you want the checklist to be short, medium, or long? Okay, very simple. And then it says that once you answer those questions, it will go ahead and create a title, a short intro, a numbered checklist broken down with simple sections. Each item will be written in plain language. And then a final next step section. This is kind of where you tell them to go buy your thing or to inquire more about what it is that you offer. And then it'll format it clean and easy to read. And then it'll make it ready to export as a PDF, which I'm going to show you how to do all this today. So you're not going to be wondering how to do that. I'll show you. So here's the example of it filled out. So I just went ahead and filled that out. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to take this just like you would. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to copy this. And then we are just going to jump over to ChatGPT real quick. And then I'm going to paste this in here. Okay. And then I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Can you guys see ChatGPT, by the way? Just go ahead and wave if you can see it. Okay. Good. So I'm going to I'm gonna go over here, and remember, I already filled out these, questions. Let me get this to move up here. Here we go. Okay. So these questions, um, you would just say so it says, "Ask me these 5 questions one at a time." You can just take out that when you, if you know the answers already. So let me go back here and get the example. So I just created an example. I was thinking, let's pretend, and that's the same example I'm gonna use for all of these lead magnets. I just said, let's pretend that I have a school community, or I have a membership business. People, pay me monthly to get access to my course, and the course is about how to use AI to make your life better. Okay, so just a simple example. We're going to use it for all 3 of these examples. So, who's the checklist for? Beginners who want to use AI to make everyday life easier. So, I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to paste that into the prompt. Let's go get the question or the answer to the next one. What specific problem does my thing solve? They feel overwhelmed by AI and they don't know where to start or what tool to use. Okay, so that's a simple problem within the problem. Paste that in there. What specific outcome do they want? They want to save time on daily tasks. They want to feel confident using AI, and they want to build simple habits they can repeat daily. Okay, so we can go paste that in there. And then what is the skill level is beginner. Okay, so maybe you work with people that are already professionals and you want to, you know, you cater the lead magnet to that. You don't want to talk up or down to them. You want to talk right towards them. So, and we want this around 20 items. Okay. Okay. So basically I filled out the checklist. Let's go ahead and hit return and let's see what it does for us. Okay. It says, I have your finished lead magnet clean, simple, and PDF ready. Pretty cool. Okay, if you want it turned into a brandable PDF, just tell me. Okay, so here's a beginner, or sorry, here's a title. It says the beginner's AI starter checklist: 20 simple steps to make everyday life easier. So imagine you're doing a piece of content now. Okay, imagine this is your topic. You help people with AI or something like that. And let's say that you do a a TikTok or a YouTube video or something, and your video is about how to set up your first Chat GPT account. Okay, and you're telling them this stuff, and in the video, somewhere in the video or down in the description or somewhere, okay, you should always do some sort of call to action. You go, hey, and if you want some more help, you know what? I actually put together a beginner's AI starter checklist. It's completely free. It gives you 20 simple steps to make everyday life easier. Just go down in the description and grab it, or comment AI starter checklist, and I'll send you the link. That's it. Okay. Now, anybody that's actually interested in stuff like this, they're going to take, they're going to hear that, they're going to go, and you're going to generate a lead, or you're not, right? They're either going to be interested or they're not. Anybody that is interested, now you've got somebody on a list. You took them off of social media, right? So you went from, you know, renting a list, because when you're using social media, the people that you're talking to out there, you're just kind of renting that, meaning at any time they could just take the house back, right? They could just take that away. Something could change in the algorithm, something could change, you don't know. And then all of a sudden, the people that you were communicating with, you can't communicate with anymore because whatever had happened. We call that renting your audience. You want to own your audience. So if something shifts in the marketplace, or if algorithm change happens, or whatever it is, you can still talk to your people. You still have people that are potential customers, and you don't have to be reliant on just social media in this outside place. So this is the way that we do that. This is the way we take somebody from being a rented audience to an owned audience. And by the creating a lead magnet like this, we know who we're talking to and what they're interested in. So now it's giving me the introduction. Okay. So this would be basically what we create in a Google Doc. Okay. You could title it just like this, and I'll show you how to do this in just a moment. But look how quickly it gave us something decent. You don't need to be an expert to win with AI. You just need to clear da 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 da. Okay. And then look at the checklist. Get set up. Section 1. So what happened here is AI, knowing all and doing all, it gave us a draft here. And now we can go into it starting with this and we can change things a little bit based off what we actually know or what we're actually doing. So think of AI as like your assistant here, a very smart one and a very reliable one. And you have this now that you can work with. In the grand scheme of things, this right here, just copying pasted into a Google Doc would be very sufficient and it would work very well. And then if you really wanted to pour the hot stuff on top, make it even more powerful, you could create a small little 1 or 2 minute video where you walk people through this. So that I always like doing that if I can, because I want them to connect with me. I want them to see and know who I am and kind of feel my spirit, if you will, in knowing you can kind of tell if somebody's genuine or if they're really trying to help you or not. So I always like to add that to all my stuff. If I'm not doing a free course, then or a free mini course or whatever, then I always try to add just like some sort of little video, a Loom video, an unlisted YouTube video, and I just link to it in the document. But here's a checklist. Okay. This is what they'd actually get. And then it says the next steps. Okay. Pick 3 items. Okay. Do that. Save this checklist. Come back to it. Join my community if you want more of this. And that's where you can just add a little link here at the end that says, go check it out, learn more, buy here, get started. Okay. And then they do that or they don't, right? It's very simple, very simple. So that's it. All you would do is you would take this right here, just like this, and you would simply copy and paste it into a Google Doc, just like the one I'm showing this stuff to you with. You would you'd work on it, kind of make it look good. Okay. Not doing a whole lot. We don't need to go crazy here. And then boom, you've got something that you can give to them. I'll show you how to actually deliver it to them. Okay. I'll show you how to give them the link per se and what to do there towards the end. But pretty cool, right? Wave if you're like, wow, that's pretty simple. That's pretty cool. I can do that. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, um, that's that. So think about it. AI, it'll create the list. You just need to refine it and then you can format it and then it's done. That fast. That fast. So, you're learning how to do this today, and you're either going to take this information and go benefit from it, or you're going to overthink it. There's nothing else to think about there. It's done. It's ready. Now all you have to do is go out there and use it consistently all the time. And what will happen is as you build these out, you're going to find some that really do well. Like wow, every time I talk about this lead magnet, this checklist or whatever, people just go grab it all the time. What does that tell you to do? It tells you talk about that more, right? The ones that don't do so good, maybe just get rid of those, right? Maybe don't worry about those. But as you try these and as you test these, and I know, Michelle and I are always testing. We're always looking at different ways to make things better, right? And when we find something that works, um, we go with it, right? We hammer down on it, and you know, it- it's that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate this, okay? All right, somebody designed the document there. Appreciate that. Let me see if I can get that to be erased. Will it erase? Ah, I did it. Okay, thank you. Appreciate your little drawings there. Okay, so that's the checklist template. And then here's the other cool thing that you can do with that. All right. I can come up here now that it's created that checklist, and I can simply do this. In the same chat feed here, I can just say, create another one that's even better and completely different, but on the same niche. Okay. And just like that, I have another one that I can test. Now, I'll tell you, I like to test things. I like to, get 100, 200, 1,000 opt-ins. Like you got to really test these things. You can't just say it a few times and be like, oh, it's not working. It takes some time, right? It just takes time for people to kind of figure things out. But when you got a good one that really, hits the nerve, you'll know that you won't have to ask if this is a good one or not, because you'll just see leads coming in constantly. Okay, the Everyday AI Quick Start Guide, 21 beginner moves that saves hours each week. And just like that, I have another one. Isn't that cool? Look how simple that is. It's so simple. Once you use that one prompt, that's it. Okay. And I could say it again, do another one and give it a little bit different, attitude or behavior or thought or something. Okay. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So that's that one. Let's look at template. So here's just some example templates. You could give somebody like the one page blueprint. Okay. Or the mistake map, right? Here's a map of all the mistakes people make when they go to make cherry pie, right? A mini playbook, a swipe file. Hey, here's a bunch of things that I found that work. I just want to give those to you. Okay. Shortcut checklist. Here, I'll save you a ton of time. Here's a checklist of things, but it's a template, right? Starter kit, 10-minute audit. Okay. These are templates. So again, I've got a prompt for you here. And think of a template as like a cookie cutter, right? It's like instead of me, giving you a checklist of how to, create all these different cookie shapes, I could just be like, here, I've already created the shape thing. I'll just give it to you. Okay. Just so think of a template as like something that's already created for them. They can just start using right away. They can just implement, they can put their stuff into it and it starts working right away. Kind of like these prompts in a way, or like a template. This thing right here, this workshop that I'm doing with you, this is kind of a combination of all things. It's a mini course. There's a checklist here. You're getting a list of things, and it's a template because I'm giving you prompts. So that's like the hybrid ultimate, lead magnet. Okay. So I want to help you. This is what the prompt is. All right. You're just going to copy paste this. And again, you're going to get this template, by the way, or you're going to get this whole PDF. So you'll have this. You can just do what I'm doing. But I've got the answers to it right here. Okay, so we'll do the same kind of thing. And what this says is, I want you to help me create a simple templated style lead magnet. Ask me these 5 questions one at a time. Again, if you have the answers already, work like we do, we're just going to go fill it in. But this is the whole prompt right here. Okay, so we'll grab that and go down here. We'll open up ChatGPT again and we'll paste that in there. And let's go answer these questions. All right. So what are our answers? Here we go. So who's the template for? Beginners who want AI help to help them organize tasks. Again, we're using that same example format that we did for the other one. What specific problem will this template help them solve quickly? Well, they don't know what to delegate to AI or how to structure something. They don't know how to use it essentially. So there's that. What final result do they want? They want a clear, repeatable daily workflow they can run with AI. Okay. What skill level are they? Beginner. And then do I want a template to be simple, standard, or advanced? We said standard. And then there we go. Okay. So I'm going to go up here. I forgot we need to remove this. Okay. If you already have the answers. If not, it'll ask you questions to answer. And just like that, we're going to get a template. So this template, the AI Daily Workflow Builder template. What does it say? This template helps beginners set up a daily workflow using AI without feeling overwhelmed. Pretty good promise there. Just fill in the blanks, follow the steps, and you'll have a clear, repeatable routine that saves you time every day. Look how fast. They literally can just take what you're giving them, they can fill in the blanks, and boom, they have it, right? And it says by the end, you'll know exactly how to delegate to AI and how to run your day with more clarity. Perfect. So copy, paste, fill in the blanks. Section 1, your daily goals, top 3 priorities. Look at this template. Okay. You literally can just go like this and it'll throw it all in there. But look, it's a template. All they have to do is go in and fill these things out. Okay. And they will have a template and it even shows them how to use it. Fill out the priorities, pick 2 to 3 tasks AI will handle, plug in your tasks, run the routine, adjust how AI handles it. Okay. Boom. Just like that. It's done. You have a template and you can go in and if, based off what you're offering or whatever, you might change some of these or you might add a little bit to it. But essentially they have something where they have a template. They know what to come back to. It saves them time. It saves them energy. They see the value. Okay. Pretty simple, pretty cool. This is all you need for a lead magnet. This is it. You don't need anything more. Okay. And so what I like to do in these whenever I create these, kind of like I did on this one. So like, you know how I said, "Hey, I'll give you this template. I'll give you this thing that we're going over here, this Google Doc." Remember that? So at the top of this, I just put find Mike on YouTube and I just linked to my YouTube channel on here. Okay. You can do the same thing in these. It's a great way to get people over to your stuff. You just down at the bottom or up at the top, you can put a simple thing and it can say, if you want to know more about how I can help you do XYZ, just click here. And all you have to do is highlight a piece of this text, and then you can go up to the little link button and you can link it like this and just put in where you want it to go. It's that easy. Okay. Highlight it, press the little link button up here at the top, insert a link, and then it becomes a linkable thing. So when you go over here to file and you go to download as a PDF document, that PDF document will have that link in it. Okay. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute. So far, so good, right? Is it pretty simple? Okay, pretty easy, right? Wave if you're like, all right, I was probably overthinking this. This is really simple. Okay. And these are really valuable, by the way. I see lead magnets out there and it's like, man, I just kind of want to grab them and be like, hey, you're making this way too complicated. Like people are not gonna they're not gonna mess with that. It's too much. Okay. All right. So what's an example of a mini course? So first off, before we jump into this, a mini course, by the way, just think of like maybe 3 to 5 2-minute videos, 1-minute videos. It could just be one video. Okay. So they'll opt in for the mini course. And then right there on the next page, you can have a video that says, hey, I sent the mini course to your email inbox. Okay. So they go to a page, they give you their name and email or just their email. Okay. They give you their email. On the next page, it literally is just a video. It's got a headline above it. It says, hey, awesome. You got the mini course. Watch the video. The video starts and it says, hey, I just sent this mini course, this template, this checklist, whichever it is. I just sent this to your email. Go make sure that you find it in there. If I've never emailed you before, then it could have went to one of your other folders. So go find it and open it because inside of there, I have your mini course. Inside of there, I have your template or your checklist. Now, the reason you want to do it this way is because if they go into their email and they find your email and click on it, open it, click on it, that tells the email gods that if you email them again, it'll put it in the inbox. Okay. And sometimes it takes a few times delivering something like this, but in most cases, if somebody goes into their inbox, even if it was in their junk or spam or promotions or whatever, if they go in there and find that email and they open it and then they click inside of it, the next email that you send out with your automations or just that you send out to your list, it's going to go to the inbox much more likely than not. So it's a little trick. I'm sure, Michelle and I have been doing that for years. I'm sure she's probably shared that with you many times or she has it in some of her training, but such a good thing to do. When somebody opts in, there's a video right there. First thing you say is, hey, I'm so glad you grabbed this mini course, this template, whatever. I want to make sure that you get it. I sent it to your email. Go in there, find it, click. It'll be in one of them folders. And then you can have a video there where you're like kind of explaining a little bit. And on that same page where that video is, you can have a link to your buy my thing. You can have a link to join your community. You can have a link to subscribe to my channel or whatever it may be. Okay. So the mini course, all it has to be when you go to create this thing, all it has to be is just create either 1, 2, 3, okay, short, really bite-sized little videos. You can just put them on YouTube and make them unlisted. Okay. Very simple. And then you'll have a YouTube link, a link to your YouTube video. And then you just simply give them a doc like this. You notice how, like, in these right here, I just have a link down at the bottom. You see that? You could have one that goes like this. Okay. Let me just show you. It could be like video 1, or you could have module 1. Okay. And then you could just put click to watch. And then all you have to do is highlight this right here, and then you're going to put that link into your unlisted YouTube video. Okay, so if we were to go to YouTube, if you've never done that before, okay, I'll just go in there real quick. And inside of your account, okay, you can go, I'll just go to my channel. I'm sure you guys have linked to a video before. But if you go to a video, okay,
wrong. They're using it as a
okay, you just go to this share button right here. You copy that link. That's it. That's all you do. Copy that link. Only your video would be unlisted, right? It's just when you go to put the video in there, it'll say, do you want it to be private, public, or unlisted? You just put unlisted. That way, nobody can see it except for the people you give the link to. So you copy that link, you go back over here, and maybe it was, let's pretend that it was module 1 or video 1 of the mini course. Highlight this, you just paste it in there, and boom, it becomes a link. And when they get this document now, they'll click on it, and if they go to it,
so most people are using
right to
AI
that
wrong.
video, and they can start watching it. And then down below, you could have links to your stuff. So it's that simple. And it's going to help grow your brand on, whatever channel. You can even link to a TikTok video. You can link to an Instagram video, anything. I just like YouTube because it's unlisted. Nobody sees it. Okay. All right. I just want to throw that out there just so if you're like, well, how do I give them the video? That's how you do it. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at this real quick. I'm just going to run through these real fast. These are just like some courses, mini courses that you could do. So if this right here is just different niches. Okay. You got personal finance, wellness, AI. I'm just going to kind of give you some examples, kind of get your brain turning on these. A mini course could be like AI for everyday life. Save 5 hours this week. It just teaches beginners 3 simple automations: email cleanup, calendar help, idea generation. Okay. 3 simple videos, shows them that, boom, done. And they're like, wow. And they got to hang out with you. A 10-minute home workout starter. Okay. That could be a little mini course. Budgeting basics in 30 minutes. Okay. It could be 5-minute videos. It could be 1 30-minute video. All right. Again, you would still build the whole program out like this, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. Upgrade your resume with AI tools. 5 ingredients, 3 meals, if you're in the cooking niche, maybe, or side hustles. Your first digital product in a weekend. Learn any language in 15 minutes a day. Shoot pro photos with your phone. Okay. Stress reset, 3 daily habits that actually stick. Kind of like the template, kind of like the checklist, only we're going to use little mini videos to really, it's kind of like more value too when they get the video from you. It's something a little bit more tangible per se. So here's the prompt. We want to just copy and paste this prompt. Okay, so we'll grab that. I made the green for the example, and then I made blue for the one you'll actually use. So I just wanted to split that up for you. So let's copy this. Let's jump over to AI. Okay, let's go ahead, paste that in there. And then let's go fill out the questions real quick. Okay. So who's the mini course for? Beginners who want to use AI. So it's that same example again. And then we're going to take this little line out because I don't need it to ask me questions. I already have the answers. Okay. Who's it for? They don't know how to start, or they don't know what AI can actually do for them or how to start. What outcome do they want? They want to feel confident using AI to save them time on daily tasks. What skill level are they? They are beginners. And then how long should this mini course be? 3, 5, or 7 lessons? We'll go with 3 lessons. 3 is such a good number for a lot of things. Do I want written lessons only or written plus short scripts? So written lessons only. And you can just walk them through the written lessons, just like I'm doing with you right here. Just like I'm doing with you right here. Okay? Very simple. You don't have to overthink this thing. If this has been valuable to you, you can do the exact same thing I'm doing with you with them. Okay, there's no different. We're on Zoom. You could record it on Zoom. Heck, you can even invite people and then give them the one with people on it even. Okay, so that's a neat way to do it too. All right. I could literally, Michelle and I could literally take this recording of this right here and we could offer it as a lead magnet on how to make lead magnets. Okay, so, all right. So we put that in there and we're going to go ahead, hit return here. And just like that, it gives us the title AI Starter Sprint, Feel Confident AI in 7 days. It has an intro, and then here's lesson 1. Okay, you can copy and paste this into a Google Doc just like I did, and then you run them through these things right here. Okay, you simply just take them through that, and this is where you might have to go back and edit that list a little bit. All right. Okay, and Michelle, interrupt me at any time if we need to cut it short, but I'm just about done here. I just wanted to. I know this went a little longer.
No, you're great. We
Okay.
went several hours on Monday, so you're good.
Okay. Okay. Yes. All right. I just don't want to. I'm kind of famous for taking a little bit longer. Okay. So that's the mini course example. Now I want you to understand that it is nothing more, nothing less. Okay. These convert insanely well. You can ask Michelle. You can ask anybody that's ever done a mini course lead magnet. They convert very well. They build trust quickly. It creates brand and sales. That's why I really like it. It does require a little bit more input. You got to make the videos. Um, but man, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. So now that we've been through these 3 examples, checklist, template, mini course, I want you to think about this formula. Okay. This is all you're doing. This used to be so hard back in the day. Like, you had to literally figure this stuff out. Like, if you wanted to create a mini course with 3 lessons, you had to literally think about creating 3 lessons. Like, you had to lay it all out. Look how fast that made a mini course. I mean, like, it literally is that quick. I mean, it's not like a joke. So what do? We prompt it. So we give it these prompts. You have the prompts. Now you can go, I wonder if there's better prompts. I wonder if you're going to just, why? This works. This certainly works. Okay. I just use them. You got that part. It give us the draft, right? It would kick out that draft and we can copy and paste that into a Google Doc. That's all you have to do. Just Google Doc. Okay. Now, if you want to go fancier because you can, that's up to you. Not necessary though. If what I've been doing with you right now has been valuable, it has helped you, it's been good, I'm using a Google Doc right now. Okay. So we put it drafts it out, we copy and paste it, we put it into Google Docs. We tighten it up. I put this in here and I tightened it up. I went in, Michelle came in here before the workshop and I kind of showed her, look what this, and I just tightened it up a little bit. All right. I knew what I wanted it to be. I knew what I wanted it to say. And then I exported it as a PDF. Okay. Again, you don't need any kind of crazy expertise anymore, right? You do need to know what your topic is. You do need to know what the niche is. But I'm sorry, just like, how teachers used to be like, well, I just don't want kids to have calculators. How are they going to learn math? Well, if they got a calculator, do they need to know math? They need to know the basics. But I mean, that's the kind of place we're at today. All right. People say, oh, well, AI did it. Look, we have it. It works. We use it. It matters. It works. We got it. So you don't need to be well, I'm not, an expert enough to do that. Well, you know what? When I go get food from a restaurant, I know that's not the best, most expert chef in the world, but they know how to cook a meal for me that's good. The key is they're doing it, I'm not. The key is with this is you did the work to put that stuff together and simplify it. You curated it down. You found the information and used a tool to organize it. Just like I would use a tool to build a house. You're gonna be mad at me that I didn't do it by hand? No, you'd want me to use a tool because it'd be easier. So don't get lost in that little world, all right? The big thing is can you deliver the thing that they came for? That's all people want. You said you'd give me red apples. Give me red apples. You just earned my trust. You just earned me paying attention. So you curate. AI will produce this. You package it up just like I have. And now what am I doing? I'm just delivering it authentically. I fumbled my words a little bit. I had some microphone problems in the beginning. I had some, it doesn't obviously sound probably the best because my room might echo a little bit. But does that matter? Does it matter more that I'm just being authentic and I'm trying to genuinely help you figure this out so you can start getting leads and sales? That's what matters the most. Okay. That matters more than anything. So just keep that in mind as you do this. But this is the formula. Okay. Prompt it, get the draft, tighten it up a bit, get it to where you can present it or deliver it, and then you export it. All right. And I already showed you how to export it. Once it's in Google Docs like this, you just simply go to File, you go over here to Download. This little screen will pop out here, and you just go PDF document. And any of these, even the mini course, the way I would do it and the way I've done it many times is I just put unlisted YouTube videos in a link here in this doc, and then I email it to them when they opt in. That's it. It's so simple. And then I just give them the link to this doc. How do I do that? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can click this little share button up here. Okay. So if you click share, it'll show this. Okay. And then you just go down to where it says general access right here, and you hit this drop down and you put anyone with the link. So if you click that, now I can copy this link and I can literally just use that link and I can send it to the email. I can put it in an email and send it to them. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. I know Michelle has unbelievable training in her community on how to do this in my community. So you guys can do it. It's so simple. You just put the link in the email, they open it, boom, they got it. If you download it as a PDF and you want to give it to them that way, which practically isn't quite necessary because you can just share it this way. Once you download it as a PDF, it'll go onto your computer, and then you can go in to Google Drive, put it in there, and then get the link that way, which kind of a bunch of steps for no reason. I would just do what I just showed you. Okay, so lead magnet, the lead magnet builder. So I just wanted to give you a general prompt that would give you some ideas outside of what we've done here. So I told you the top three, my favorite, are checklist, the template, and then the mini course. Those are all you need, but I wanted to give you this too. So I'm telling ChatGPT, act as a lead magnet creator. Help me create a simple free offer. This is my audience. This is what problem they want solved. Give me a title, a one-sentence promise, a main list, step-by-step instructions, and one quick win they can do today. Keep it simple, fast to consume. Everything that we've talked about. So, just as the others, I've got the prompt right here with it's already filled out. So let's go ahead and just grab that. So you see beginners who want to use AI to make everyday life easier. Topic, they feel overwhelmed by AI and want a simple starting point they can follow today. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this. We're going to go over to ChatGPT. See how neat it is where I just put that link when I want to go show you something? Isn't that kind of cool? You can do the same thing in yours. It's very simple. So I'm going to paste that in there and hit enter. Okay. And just like that, the AI starter playbook. So it automatically picked the playbook style, which again, like all content, this is kind of a rule of thumb. Any and all content that you ever create is going to be either a list or a template. That's it. What else are you going to make it about? You're going to go through some items. You're going to take them through some steps. So, all content's kind of the same thing, right? So you don't have to get too worried about that. One sentence promise. So I copy and paste this into the doc. One sentence. Feel confident using AI today with one simple routine you can follow in minutes. Main list. What AI is in plain language. Plain language. I can't even say. How funny. What AI is in plain English. Three tasks beginners should start with. How to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So look at this. Boom. And then look what it does down here. Step-by-step instructions. Pick one of your areas of your day that feels chaotic. Example, meal planning, da 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 da. Look at that. It's the playbook right here, step by step. Okay. And then down it says, create a simple, they even give me a prompt to give them because remember, this was about AI. Create a simple daily routine to save me 10 minutes every day using AI. Keep it, da 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 da. Boom, that fast. And so every piece of comment, I think I need another coffee. Um, every piece of content that I create, I can literally be like, hey, if this AI tip that I gave you in this video helped you, you're going to love my AI starter playbook. You know what? You'll feel confident and have a simple routine with AI, and you can use things so fast. Go grab it down below. Comment starter playbook. I'll send it to you. They get the link. I find out who's interested in me. They find out how I'm interested in them. They get value. This whole thing works. And it starts that process. They're in your funnel, as we say, or they're in the sales process now. Okay. How cool is this? Wave if this is like, holy smokes, this was easy. This is easy. I can do this. Right. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Look how simple this is, by the way. I have to reiterate this because how many of you, by a wave of hands, know you need to create a lead magnet or know that you need something to get people from rented audience to owned audience and you have way overcomplicated it? Go ahead and wave if you've made this lead magnet thing super complicated. Yeah. Okay. So I see the hands up. We'll get there in a bit. Okay. All right. So that's how you use that little lead magnet prompt. I've been giving you a live demo, but the one thing that I do want to show you is how to take, remember how I said go to File, Download, PDF document, and then it downloads this PDF document? All that you do is in Google Drive, and I suggest that you use Google as much as possible. Okay, Google it's just simple. It's YouTube. All this stuff is connected. You have everything that you need with it. It's very simple. So if you're using Google, as I strongly suggest, all you do is go into Google Drive and you go to New, and you can create a little folder here. I created this folder called Lead Magnet. That folder opened up. I just right click inside of here, or I can go to New again, and I can go to File Upload. And you'll simply just upload that PDF to this area right here, just like I've done with, this is the PDF that you're going to get, how to create the free offer. And there it is. Now, how do I give it to you? I just right click on it. I go down here to share. I click share, and it's that same thing. And I just make anyone with the link, copy the link. And now I can send it to you in the chat right now. I can send it to you in an email. I can put it in another doc and send you that. It's as simple as that. Okay. So that is all you have to do there. All right. Okay. So pretty simple there. And then as far as packaging it, so you really want to keep the packaging simple. So basically you're going to deliver your lead magnet in one of these formats. A Google Doc, which is the one I prefer. I feel like this is, again, if this has been helpful to you today, I've literally just used a Google Doc. Okay. And by the way, just so that you guys know, you can also create content this way. Effectively, this would be a pretty good YouTube video if I put this recording out on YouTube, would you not say? So that's how you create content. Very, very simple like this. As I just showed you, you could do the Google Drive, the PDF style. You can do the unlisted YouTube videos. We all talked about that. If you have a school, you could put this in your school classroom and they could, go get it there. The only thing with that is it's a few more steps to get in. So usually you want it to be very simple. All they have to do is very quickly, you say, hey, get my playbook. They go, okay. They click, they go to a page, they put their email in, and poof, you have a lead that fast. Okay. But you can use your school classroom. And then system.io page. So as Michelle will show you in the community, or that she does show you, She uses a simple page. She's probably given you a template if I know her well enough. And you just basically swap out the headline, the bullets, and then instant page. Okay. And that's the value of being in her community. The key points here: no fancy design is needed. It's not, is it? I mean, look, there's nothing fancy, black and white text on a screen. I'm highlighting what I'm talking about. It's actually much more enjoyable this way. It's pretty simple. Value beats the visuals. So, as a wave of hands today, did you need a bunch of pictures, or was what we talked about in this thing good enough? Wave if that's been good enough. Okay. Okay. So it's not just me. You see other people agree as well that this is good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be done. Okay. I always say to my members inside of my community, you cannot edit or make something better that doesn't exist. So you you can't even make something perfect if it's not made already. You can't edit nothing is what we always say. You can't edit nothing. You can't make something better that doesn't exist. So make it exist and then we can make it better. So get out of that perfection idea, okay? I'm a recovering perfectionist myself, so I understand. Okay. Right. Everybody good? We alive? We still going? I know it's been a few minutes here. We're just about done, okay? So, how to name your lead magnet? It's really simple. This is a thing that you can use throughout the rest of your career creating content. Number, result, timeline. This is kind of like the best headlines that you can do. So, what I did is I gave you a prompt again to make it easier for you, and I have an example filled out down here below already. But basically, what this does is it creates 20 lead magnet name ideas, and it uses the formula that works the best. Okay. And then it's going to ask you, who's it for? What is the result? What's the realistic timeline that they care about? And so I already did this for you. We'll go ahead and copy this, and you can use the same one and just edit it. Copy and copy that. And then let's go over to chat real quick. And let's just paste it in there. So I just put in here for my answers, who's the lead magnet for? I'm going to take this out. It's beginners who want to use AI to make life easier. They want to save time and get organized with AI, and they want that result in 7 days. Okay. I could put 7 hours, and we could just do that. Let's just do it. 7 hours. Okay. So it's going to give me 20 name ideas, the shortest, punchiest versions, AI following that formula. No fluff, no extra words, focus, clarity, clean format. Let's see what it does. So let's say that you use those other prompts to make a lead magnet. And you're like, well, I don't like the name that it gave me. That's why I'm giving you this. Okay. This will give you plenty of options. 7 time saving wins in 7 hours, 7 AI time savers in 7 hours. Hey, if you guys want, grab my 7 organized habits in 7 hours or 7 AI shortcuts. So you see, it just gives you short, little, simple names. And I could say, give me 10 more. If you don't like any of those, I can say, give me 10 more. I could say, give me 10 more, give me 5 more that are funny, okay? Or serious, or curious, or whatever. 7 organized wins in 7 hours so you can stop living in chaos, okay? So you see what it does, right? It's that simple. But this format, having like this much, here's the thing, in this time, seems to work the best from what I've seen. All right, so you have that, okay? Um, All right, call to actions. In your lead magnet, you can write or say, "Hey, if you want help doing this weekly, join my community." That's all you have to say. Some people overcomplicate call to action so much. People don't. It's just so simple. Okay, this really truly does work. Hey, want the full system? Join free XYZ community and I'll walk you through it step by step. Or join not free, just put join community, I'll take it. If you want help turning this into real recurring income, join XYZ for the full plan. This guide is the starting point. Inside of whatever your program's called, okay, you'll get the tools, templates, and weekly coaching to finish it. It's that simple. That's it. You don't have to do anything crazier. Ready to stop guessing and build a real blank? Join blank and start today. That's all you need to say. When you're in the store, when you're walking through Target or wherever you may be, there's not some dancing elf over there doing magical things to get you to do it. It just says buy today or, you know, 5 spots left, get yours. It's never it's never something crazy and complicated, yet we think that it has to be that sometimes. So keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it direct. Okay? So that's all you have to add inside your lead magnet. Very simple. And then you can take your lead magnet. Okay. So for instance, this whole thing that we've been doing here today, this could be turned into a lead magnet, right? It could also be a YouTube video. Matter of fact, I could chop this up into probably 10 YouTube videos because I could just talk about how to turn it into multiple things or just the example of just the cheat sheet, or the checklist. I could just talk about that and that could be a YouTube video. So what I'm trying to tell you is you can make long videos out of your lead magnet. You do that work one time, you can constantly use it. You could chop short videos out of it. You could say, "Hey, this was just one little aspect of this free thing that I created for you. Go grab the whole thing, see the whole thing." You could use this to create community posts. You could use this as multiple emails. You could take what you're saying in your videos and you could create emails out of that. You could transcribe it, all right? So one asset here, you do something once, you make something once, and you can use it over and over and over again. That's where a lot of people, they think they need to keep remaking something new all the time. No, you need to squeeze all the juice out of the thing that you created. There's so much juice in something. Okay. How to deliver it? Like I said, your easiest options, a landing page and an automated email. They opt in, you send an automated email. You create a free vault inside of Skool, Google Drive link in a Google Doc, or you could do it live through Zoom, just like we're doing right now. So you need to have one place for them to get it, one simple link, no confusion. Okay. If I told you to go 4 different ways, you would just stand there and be like, well, which one? If I said, just go here, this is the only way to get there, it'd be real simple and you would do it. Keep that in mind. Number one rule, just be listening all the time to what people are saying. If you have a community, for instance, and you hear people saying something all the time, they keep asking for something, that's a lead magnet idea. If you're out on social media and you're researching and doing different things and you keep hearing the same thing all the time, that is something that can be turned into a lead magnet. Once you hear what they want or need or discover or research or find it, draft it with AI quickly with what we showed you today. Make it once and then just keep using it forever, okay? What if you had some lead magnets out there and one brings in 5 leads a day or 5 leads a week, but you had 4 or 5 of those things happening? All what I would tell you is instead of having like as much as possible, just test as much as you can. The ones that work the best, do more of those or send people to those more. The ones that don't work, just scratch them and forget about it. You're going to nurture and convert. So if somebody gives you their email, okay, or if they join your community and they go to get this thing, that's somebody that literally is doing some sort of physical action because of you. That means you deserve to deliver to them and help them. I can't tell you how many times in the programs and teaching people this stuff, I ask them, "Hey, have you, the people that are getting onto your list or into your community, have you actually asked them, what they want, or have you talked to them, And they're like, "Well, it's like it's kind of odd." Okay, so you want to make sure that you're communicating with them, asking them, talking to them. They wouldn't be on that list unless they wanted something. Okay, don't forget that. They're not just like, "Oops, I tripped and fell into your email list." They took like an action to get in there. So make sure you take care of them and repeat, and that turns into money. So grow your list, go from rented to owned, protect your income with lists. Okay, protect your income with lists. It's simple. If you take 2 people and you give them 90 days, one person is just doing content. The other person is doing content, but building an email list. Who is going to win at the end of those 90 days? If we had to just think about it in a very simple way, this person's doing content and this person's doing content, but this one has a list that they can talk to. This person has a list that if they were off the grid and they could just get internet for a moment. They don't have to worry about social media. They can email their list. They could lose all of social media and start a whole new one because they have a list. Who's going to win? It's very simple. Okay. It's very simple. So if that makes sense, then it makes sense in this situation too. So more of what works, less of what doesn't. That's the number one rule in business. And your homework for today, you need to build your first lead magnet using these prompts today. And then what I encourage you to do is go post your lead magnet, which you see how fast they are. Go post your lead magnet in the community. Number one, you're going to inspire other people that, should be taking action, but are not. You're going to add value to them. They're going to see an example. You become more valuable, more authoritative. You're being accountable to yourself. You showed that you learned something and took action on it right away. And you're also going to get feedback. They might be like, I don't know about that. You could ask them, hey, give me some feedback, or maybe this will help and inspire you. So then you can go back later after you've been using it a little bit and you can share what's working down in the comments of the post where you shared. Okay. And that way people know that that format worked for you. All right. So that's all I have for you today.